Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Welcome to the Epique Edge podcast. I'm Angie Davis. I have a very special guest with me today for episode 4. I have the amazing Lee Garland down in Mississippi. Lee, introduce yourself.
Oh, you want me to introduce myself? Okay.
Yeah.
This is, how long have we got today? 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours? 24, okay. 1970, I was born in Madison General Hospital, Canton, Mississippi. We're not going to go that far. I'm sure you don't want to go that far back, right, Angie?
Maybe just as it relates to real estate. How about that?
Okay. Well, that's still 28 years ago, so we're gonna be here a while. But no, a little bit about me. Prior to real estate, I was in EMS. I worked for an ambulance service, thought it was pretty cool. Got to see, I worked night shift and got to drive fast, see cool things. The chicks dug it and all, and I thought I was something else. But truth is, I wasn't making enough money, and thought I'm going to get in that real estate thing. That I can control my own income in real estate, and life will be different there. Little did I know I changed one stress for another.
That's right.
And when I got into real estate with a sink or swim attitude. My thought process was I'm either going to make it or I'm not. I'm going to sink or I'm going to swim. So I quit my primary source of income, had no other source of income at that point, and I dove headfirst into real estate. And that was in 1996. I can remember it still when I went and interviewed brokers. The first broker, the person I wanted to work for, would not hire me. They thought I looked like I was a 16-year-old punk kid that knew nothing about sales, and he would not hire me.
Oh no.
And which kind of stoked my fire. And I wound up going to work for an independent mom and pop shop. And it felt like family. And I was so naive. I can remember my broker. She told me, I went to show my first house, and she said, if you don't sell it, don't come back. I'd never been fired before in my life. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I got to go sell a house or I don't have my job.
Wow.
So I went out and sold the house for $1,000 more than it was listed for back in 1996. So that was the start of my career, and I ran around with that at the end of the first year, I was in the top 3% of the agents in the market. And 1998, I became a sales manager for a Century 21 and was doing pretty well. I actually started my team in 1998, hired my first buyer's agent when that was not even a thing back then.
For sure.
And I did that, started getting my weekends back. I thought, hey, this is pretty cool. Somebody else is showing houses and I'm out fishing on the boat. And
that
did
first
that.
taste of leverage is a great thing.
And leverage is amazing. And so I did that for a little while, and I was a favorite within the company I worked for. I was one of their top agents. And somewhere along 2003, I had a small group of people praying for me because I needed it. But I thought there was more to what I was doing, and that group started praying for me. In 2004, I actually thought I was going to open up a KW. Matter of fact, went to Austin, went through some training, and right before I signed the paperwork to make it all official, God closed that door and opened up another door, and I wound up opening up a RE/MAX.
Wow.
And I opened that RE/MAX up. At the end of the first year, I had 3 offices. I was 672% larger than the average first year RE/MAX. Became number 1 in our market for an office, starting from scratch. And, we were selling 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 homes a year at my RE/MAX. And life was good. Never imagined going anywhere else. My team was doing good. My brokerage was doing good, and started, I got involved with a bunch of NAR and MAR stuff, and the life was good. And somebody came and approached me one day about a different opportunity, and I'm like, I'll look at that. I didn't think I was recruitable, but I said, I'll look at that. Long story short, fast forward to today, 11,000 transactions later, lots and lots of mistakes later. I'm at Epique Realty, and I've got agents in 17 states, partner agents in 17 states. And, I peaked on my team size. My best year ever from team wise was 554 transactions, and became a real estate coach. I've helped a lot of people go from 200, 250 transactions a year to over 500. And
I know a handful of people you coach. So full caveat as I'm saying this, isn't it fun whenever you coach someone and they grow their business bigger than yours?
I will tell you, I used to have a goal of doing 1,000 transactions a year personally, or as my team. And my goal is no longer that. That was just, it seemed like the next logical step. And my goal now is to have input into a number of agents who do over 10,000 transactions a year collectively. I love helping people. It's fun. It's different. And of course, I've got some history in the business, and I've made some good investments over the years. And so my focus now is more about building people instead of just selling real estate.
For sure.
It's a privilege to be in this position, I guess you would say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So your team you're in just outside Jackson, Mississippi. You cover all of Mississippi. And how many team members are you at now?
So my team is relatively small right now. It's nine team members. And, we still sell real estate. My wife, Amy, and I both, we still occasionally will sell real estate. So if you're looking to move to the Jackson metro area of Mississippi, the Mississippi Gulf Coast, I'm your guy still.
That was where I was going with that plug, was to give you a call if they need to move or sell in that area.
Yeah, I'm still your guy there. But my focus is not to do as many transactions as I can anymore. It's to do quality transactions and help other people build their own businesses.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And honestly, that the passion that comes with that gets you out of bed in the morning and makes you want to go to work, when honestly, you don't have to work every day now. You're in that place where, I think it was Gary Keller that said, like, the highest form of energy is contribution. When you get to that point to where you can contribute back to others. I think what I didn't hear him say in that was just how gratifying that can be, to be able to pour into others and to contribute back versus chasing a paycheck, right? Making it from one day to the next.
Definitely. And
let me ask you something. With all of your experience, what do you think the keys are? I mean, you've coached a lot of agents, you've had a lot of agents on your team and done real estate for a number of years now. What do you think the top keys to an agent's success are?
Oh boy, that's it. I could go for an hour on this, but if I had to pick the top keys, one is live by your calendar. If you don't have a structure, if you don't have a perfect daily schedule, as some coaches call it, if you're not putting your three big rocks in and working on those first every day, you're going to miss out on the actual most productive part of the day. So live by your calendars is one. Two, consistency, which ties back to your calendar.
Sure.
Being consistent in everything you do. You can be motivated for a little while, but once you create a habit, a daily habit, and you're consistent in that habit, even on the days you're not motivated, you're still completing that habit, which makes you productive. And the consistency ties into your daily habits, as well as your marketing, as well as your follow-up. It ties into everything. So calendar, consistency, and third and not last, but not least, the people you hang around.
Mm.
You need to be around people who are thinking bigger and better things than you are. And because a lot of us have heard your net worth is only as good as your network.
Right.
And
you look around. If you're the smartest guy in the room or the top producer in the room, you're in the wrong room.
You're in the wrong room. Absolutely. And so those are the three keys I think to any business, whether it's real estate or not. It's live by your calendar, be consistent, and get around people who have been to places or going places that you want to go, who are positive in your life.
100%. I think the irony, it's not, it doesn't escape me that, realtors get into this business for the freedom. Why'd you get into real estate? When you ask everybody, they're like, oh, the freedom to control my schedule, to eat when I want to eat and work when I want to work. They get into it for the freedom and the lack of structure. And yet the key to success is to have a structure in place. I mean, I guess the empowering part is you get to design what that looks like. I often tell the story that for me, I never had to miss a field day when my son was in school. Like, I was always the mom that got to choose to do that and move my lead generation to a different part of that day if it affected that day. But to work within the confines of a schedule, but it does equal financial freedom for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot goes on with that. And yes, people do get in this business for the freedom of the schedule, but you've got to plug the work in somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, a lot of new agents ask me, like, how do I become successful? And one of the things I'll ask them, do you know any resident physicians or anybody that's a physician that went through their residency program? And doctors, when they go through residency, they work 80, 90 hours a week for peanuts. But when they get through their residency and they become that full-fledged doctor, they write their own checks because they paid their dues on the front end.
They did their time. They slept standing up. They did the 90-hour work weeks. It's got to be rough.
So, I mean, you got to pay your dues on the front end.
Absolutely, for sure. I think we're in a time where, I talk to a lot of agents. I know you still coach a lot of agents, where there's some fear there. There's been some distractions, if you will, with things going on with the changes to the industry. And I don't know what your advice is. I'm curious to see kind of overall what you're telling, but what I'm telling my agents in my circle is, like, double down, lean in, and focus on working hard and doing the things that work, and being consistent and not letting the noise deflate you or distract you, because it can.
Yeah, it's kind of like the yellow car. If you go out and you buy a yellow car, you've never seen a yellow car on the road before until you buy one.
Yep.
And then that's all you see is yellow cars, because that's your focus at the moment. So if you're focused on destruction, or if you're focused on the negative aspect, or how hard this business is, well, that's what it's going to be.
That's right. It's actually a part of your brain called the reticular activating system. So, Chet Black says that this business is 90% mindset and 10% skill set. I believe that's true. I'm not even so sure that number is not low. I think it's so much mindset, like making up your mind and being determined and being committed to doing the things and keeping your mindset, healthy. Right? Versus looking for all the bad. Because our brain is meant to protect us, right? Our brain we're a survival body, right? So we are forced to look at what's bad, look at what's a danger, and evaluate it and move away from it. So it's not a default setting to where we just focus on positive and building and things like that. So for most of us, that's something we have to constantly change. And
Tony Robbins talks about that. Tony Robbins will tell you when two people walk in the room, it's the person with the most confidence
so true.
that wins. And that confidence comes with the right mindset. So it all ties together. And so you can be the smartest guy in the room, but the smartest guy in the room is very rarely, or the smartest woman very rarely is going to overpower or take control of the one that's confident.
That's absolutely true.
God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. We should listen more than we talk.
More than we talk.
But so you can't be cocky confident.
Right.
At that point, you're running people off. But
Sure.
when you believe in yourself and you believe in what you're doing, people naturally just trust you.
Believe in yourself, believe in what you're doing, and then having that, I'll add to that, having that servant's heart of wanting to help others. When you marry all of those together, I mean, the client at that point is yours to lose, because they're going to say yes, they're going to trust you. They're going to want to follow you because you've brought to them everything they need to make the right decision to do business with you.
So true. A lot of my friends said I'd never make it in real estate, and they thought it was because I didn't like people. The truth is I was shy, but I had an incredibly hard work ethic. And as I was working with people, they trusted me. They trusted me very quickly because I wasn't pushing and selling. I was serving.
Right.
And so it's funny, my second year in the business, 70% of my business was referrals or from past clients or people I've touched that year prior. So
that's strong. 70% referrals.
That's not because I was the smartest real estate agent on the planet. It's because I served the people that I met, and they trusted me, and they told their friends about me.
Yeah, makes sense. That what a key to success. What a pearl. I hope whoever's listening to this takes that and implements it into their life and their business right now, because that alone can change everything, regardless of the market. I mean, I went into real estate in 2009 full time with the naivety.
That was a great year.
It's a great year to go into real estate.
It was a great year to get into real estate. Congratulations.
But I didn't know that everybody didn't call expireds and FSBOs. I didn't know that people didn't lead generate 3 and 4 hours a day. I didn't know that. I just didn't know. I had no idea to compare it to. So that determination and that work ethic and that willingness to just do whatever it takes. I mean, you can't stop someone who has that commitment level and that work ethic and that mindset. I don't care if you're shy. I don't care if you're ugly. I don't care if you have another job and you do real estate as something you're working into. Like, if you've got those things on board, you will be successful. Crazy. It's a crazy time. Let's talk a little bit about I know it's an election year and buyers and sellers, like, there's hesitation. Are you seeing that in Mississippi, or is that just Tennessee?
No, it's nationwide, and I hear this a lot. And I've been through a number of elections over the last 28 years, and it always makes me chuckle when I hear somebody say, "Oh, I'm going to wait till after the election before I do anything." And what I've discovered is that's just a stall tactic. That's just something people say because they don't like being pushed into buying or selling. Because the truth is, it doesn't matter who the president of the United States is in most cases. And what I mean by that is presidential elections. It doesn't really affect first-time home buyers in the middle class. It does affect discretionary spending. So if you're looking at buying a secondary home, or you're looking at buying a $1 million plus home, that may have an effect, because if the stock market goes up or goes down as a result of the election, that could affect the income that you have at your disposal. But most home buyers and home sellers are not in the top 3% or top 5% of the United States of income earners. They're not affected as much by the stock market and what's going on with the presidential elections. And the truth is, it's not the president that runs this country. Yes, he or she is the head of the country, but it's Congress that passes the bills.
Right.
So when it's election time, unless you're in the top 5% of income earners, chances are the results of that election is not going to have a great impact on your ability to buy or sell.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and I don't know what you're seeing down there. I assume the market's similar, but I mean, we're still seeing not just a little bit of appreciation. We're seeing tons of appreciation in our market. We're seeing like fewer homes sell, but not really a lot fewer. The market's down as far as units sold, but the appreciation's happening. So that's just a equity that people are missing out on by waiting, even in 3 or 4 months.
Interesting number that I was looking at yesterday. Appreciation is happening. There's not much depreciation going on across the nation. There are some markets that are slower, and there's some markets that are not selling for over list price like they were at one point. But the projected appreciation for this year and the rest of this year and next year is very minor. It's still appreciating, but it's minor. But if you look at appreciation projected for 26 and 27, it's significantly more. So think about this. All of these people waiting on interest rates to go back to, which they'll probably never do, 2 and 3%, 4%. They're waiting on this, and yet in 26 and 27, they're expecting a significant increase in appreciation. Even if the rate gets lower, you can't buy more house because it will have appreciated so much. So why not buy now, let the house you buy appreciate, then sell it and take that equity out and move it over into your next home.
Absolutely. That's what I tell my people. A person with equity has options. Somebody asked me about a new construction home the other day that they went in, they didn't like it. I won't say the name of the new construction company. They're a huge national builder, but they didn't love everything they saw about the home. And I'm like, yep, I get it. But they've got a great interest rate. They've got good incentives. You got to buy something, buy that, park there for 3 or 4 years. You've got equity. And with that equity, you've got the option to go buy the house that you want, that you really want to be in.
Or you could go pay $1,800, $2,000 a month in rent and pay somebody else's house off.
Yeah. I mean, you're always paying a mortgage, just not your own, right? If you're renting.
And rent is crazy nowadays. I own rentals. I love the fact that rent is crazy nowadays. However, really, I mean, I've literally got 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,100 square foot units renting for $1,800 a month.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
And you could own that same house for $1,400.
Right. It just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is don't let the election, the interest rates. I mean, people are so, and realtors do the same thing. It's like we're comparing this market to that. We're comparing the interest rates now to the 2.5%. By the way, when the interest rates are 2.5%, it's a bad sign of our economy. That's why they're that low. Like, the economy's not doing so good. We don't want them at 2.5%. We've got to.
Over the last 50 years, you know what the average rate is?
Yeah, like 6.
Over the last 50 years, 7%. Right at 7%.
we're under that now. So
Yeah.
like, buy the house. My goodness.
You know, it's kind of like having kids. People say, I'm going to wait till I'm ready to have kids. I'm going to wait till everything is perfectly lined up to have kids. The truth is, you're never 100% ready. There's always something.
Always.
Always something. So why delay your ability to build wealth, build equity in your own, and pay your own mortgage off instead of somebody else's? Why wait till the time is perfect for that and everything lines up? Why not start today?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. All right, we'll wrap up with that. We've been with Epique now not quite a year, but glad you made the switch to Epique.
So I moved to Epique January 18th. And, well, everybody moves at their own pace. And I was a little nervous about it, but I saw opportunity. I was one of these, I've always been a person that believes in explore the opportunities that are presented to you. Doesn't mean you have to take it. Just be open-minded.
Absolutely.
You never know what's out there until you've actually explored it. I will tell you, it's been the best move in my career. And I can't imagine anything else. Epique did everything. Epique, what was different with Epique than other companies, even when I owned my own independent mom and pop brokerage, is Epique provides the resources to the producing agents that they need every single day. And they don't charge an arm and a leg for it.
Right.
They let you be you. They provide you the resources you need, not some fluffy, shiny object that may or may not affect your business. And that is a game changer. And so I am thrilled. I looked at the opportunity. I'm ashamed of myself for giving Natalie such a hard time when she said, hey, what do you think about this? And I just laid into her like, are you crazy? And then I have to give credit to my wife, Amy. She said, you're not being very open-minded. And for somebody that is always looking for opportunity, you're blowing this out of proportion. And I'm like, you're right. And I listened.
Yeah.
And that listening has changed my life forever.
Yeah, for sure. We were talking just a little bit ago. It's like I've moved my license for the last time. Like, this company it's everything. It was everything that I was promised, and gosh, they just keep adding things that they're giving to agents. I think we're in a time right now in real estate where agents are looking at their value. I've said since the beginning of the year, it's the year of value. Like 2024, I don't think agents mind giving their 15 or 20% to their broker. It's what they get back for it. What am I getting for that? And honestly, most traditional brokerages, just because it's been the, I think, industry norm, is to just give them very little. They'll do some contracts training. The broker's there if you need help. I mean, and not to bash any other company. I'm not about that life, but I think agents are looking, going, wait a minute, for this 15%, I could get a lot of things with Epique that I'm currently not getting.
And you know what's cool about that 15%? Is it's 15%, which is, a $15,000 cap your first year. But Epique rewards you for tenure. So in your second year, it's 14. Your third year, it's 13. All the way down to $10,000 a year. And they're helping you with your pain points. They're helping you with your signs. They're putting your signs up. They're providing the signs. They're taking your listing photos. They're giving you a billboard. And they're giving you a transaction coordinator. These are all things that make a difference in your day-to-day business. And on top of that, they reward you for being there.
Yeah. I've never seen a brokerage reward you for loyalty of staying. I mean, we've come a long way from getting a gold watch when you've been on a job for 30 years to being in real estate to go, well, you got a plaque for being a top producer last year. It's like, what am I going to do with a plaque?
Well, I can tell you, because of Epique, I could buy my own gold watch.
There you go. Hey, listen, I've been in your bandwidth and under your leadership, and I consider you a close friend, just almost family, for a couple of years now. I'm always inspired when we talk. I'm always energized when we talk. So I appreciate you. I want to take a moment to say that to you. I appreciate you and Amy both.
Well, thank you so much. Are you saying that so that I don't share all of the well, we'll just leave it at that. We have a good time.
We work hard and we play hard, don't we?
We work hard, we play hard, and you know and I said it earlier. Hey, be around the people who you want to be, and we do, Angie. We have this amazing network of people that we're around that. They're, some of the people we hang around are 20 transactions a year. Right. Some of the people we hang around are 750 plus transactions a year. Yeah. A lot of the people we hang around are multiple business owners. They have multiple streams of income coming into their life. And all of the people we hang around are positive cheerleaders, collaborators that wants to see everybody do good. Yeah. And that's what I love about our network of people, sure. Is that they're there to help each other and cheer each other along. And so we've got,
and we all need that at every level of our business. I mean, we all need encouragement. We all need, real estate can be a lonely business. I mean, it really can be. I mean, you're by yourself. If you don't plug into things and have a network or a tribe of people that you connect with, it can be a lonely business. I think that's one of the reasons why people burn out or fail in the business, is because they just don't have anything to connect to. So there's value there. I appreciate you for it, for sure. And thanks for being on the podcast. You're the first guest on the podcast.
Well, it can only get better from here then.
Hey, listen, thanks for your time. Thanks for being on today. Congratulations on becoming a grandpa, by the way.
That's Pop. Grandpa sounds old. So
you're not old.
We got to go with Pop. So thank you. Yeah. And I understand that the right hand there in your office, or the guy that makes a lot of the things happen there, he's a new dad.
I think and I've seen pictures. The baby's adorable. He's precious. He's not really done much work for 2 days, which I think is the most significant part of Hayden's life change at this point, is that he's hit the pause button for a few days on business. So I don't know. We'll see how long he can go.
Well, Angie, I'm a grandfather because of my 23-year-old. Didn't you tell me earlier you had a 23-year-old?
23. I don't want to be a grandmother. I don't want to be a Gigi to any, but I'll be a Gigi to other people's kids. I'm not ready to be that yet.
All right. Well, I'm just saying that, you're getting close to that Gigi age.
Well, and we're going to end this podcast at this.
I'm messing with you. So
I know you are. And hey, yeah, I'm well aware it could happen anytime. I'm just praying that it doesn't for a while. Hey, listen, like, subscribe, hit the follow button wherever you enjoy your favorite podcast. Definitely subscribe to the Epique Edge. Leave us a comment on what you'd like to see. If there's anybody you'd like us to interview, like Lee Garland, the great Lee Garland, we're happy to do so. And until next time, we'll see you. Thanks again, Lee.
Bye.
Have a good one.